Hey everybody, we're transitioning from all of our videos about the rapture, and we're going to transition into a new study on hell. And I'll do some updates on the rapture view as I feel like it's necessary as questions and concerns come in, or maybe topics in the news, and we'll deal with that when they arise. But right now I want to talk about hell. Did you know that hell is empty? Do you know that there's nobody in hell right now? Well, I'm going to talk about what that means as we do these videos, but I want to start off with you understanding what are the 7 words in Scripture that we use for hell, or can be translated hell, or talk about hell. The first one is Sheol, and that's Hebrew for hell, the grave, or the pit. I guess the proper way of announcing that is Sheol, but I just like to say Sheol. It seems like a more natural English way to say it. But Sheol is the Old Testament place that we call hell sometimes, but it's not really hell. But we'll be talking about that. Then there's this word, the abyss, or Greek abyssos. We know what the abyss is. I think it refers to the bottomless pit, or Tartarus, which is also Tartaru, is a word that's only used one time by Peter in the New Testament. But this has to do with a pit in the center of the earth. I believe it's bottomless because the earth rotates on its axis. And so if you have a giant hole in the center of the earth, and this is where Satan is going to be bound someday. We see that in Revelation for 1,000 years during the millennial kingdom, but we'll talk about that some more. But anyway, this word abyss. Then Hades. Hades is actually the Greek word that's used in the New Testament for Sheol in the Old Testament. Then we have the word that Jesus used, Gehenna, referring to the valley of Hinnom in Jerusalem, and Jesus used it to describe hell, the final destination for those that are punished eternally for rejecting him. Then there's the lake of fire, which I will refer to as hell proper. It is seen in Revelation, and it has yet to be populated. As I said, it is currently empty. There is nobody residing in the lake of fire as we speak. Then the word pit is used a lot of times, especially in the Old Testament. It's used basically to translate the word Sheol. Sometimes it's used to talk about corruption or destruction, or just a pit. But anyway, there's a lot of different words for pit in the Hebrew, and so it makes it a little hard to follow sometimes. But those are the 7 words that we're going to review and talk about. Sheol, the Old Testament word that's translated hell sometimes. The abyss, abyssos, in the Greek in the New Testament. Hades in the New Testament. Gehenna in the New Testament. Lake of fire in the New Testament. Tartarus, or Tartaru, in the New Testament that Peter talks about. And bottomless pit and pit. So those are what we're going to be jumping into in the future. But for now, what you need to know is hell proper is not populated yet. There's nobody in hell as we speak right now.